Here's a hot take for you. Whining about Games Workshop prices and business practices is silly. Welcome to Tabletop Alchemy, where we bait the trolls with gusto. All right. Let me burn a 5th level spell slot and cast protection from comment section hate. If you're just a Warhammer player, that was a D&D reference. Okay, yes, obviously today's title is meant to be clickbaity, but it's also the legit topic of this video. Let's start with disclaimers. First off, I don't think wanting a company to lower their prices or do something different than they've been doing, I don't think that's silly. We all react to things, we all think things. Yeah, I'm a good writer. I do, however, think it's silly to waste a lot of mental energy complaining about something that doesn't really have any solution and also just goes against plain logic. I'm not here to preach or lecture, you know that. I'm just here to shoot the shit with you about tabletop gaming stuff. So, Games Workshop. Let's call them the Apple of the tabletop wargaming hobby. Oh, but if they're Apple in this metaphor, then who's Microsoft? I don't know. I don't think things through. What do you think you are, Miniacs Channel? Goobertown? You ain't there, you here, with me, reevaluating life choices, that sort of thing. Anyway, let's talk about capitalism. Ostensibly, we are supposedly living in a capitalistic society. We don't, truly, but that's a different video and probably a different channel altogether. So, in this wonderful society, that's right, you, sitting right there on the other side of the screen, you can start a company. Start one today. Start one tomorrow. Whenever you want. Point is, you can literally just start a company. Pick out a name, provide a service or a product, or, pull an Enron and just make shit up. But then file some paperwork and boom, you're off to the races. So what's the point of your company? I mean, like the base level fundamental point of the company. Unless you're a nonprofit organization, and even that's a little iffy, but unless you're a nonprofit, my guess is one of the fundamental reasons for starting your company is to make a profit. Yeah, I know, super revelatory, right? You didn't see that one coming at all. You want to make some money. You want to put food in the fridge, a car in your garage, ducats in your bank, crypto wallet, under the mattress, whatever. Now, of course, there are probably secondary goals like creating something useful for people, making or providing something people love to engage with, etc. But we also live in a world where pharmaceutical companies are for profit. In some countries. Okay, maybe one country. Anyway, the point is they charge blatantly exorbitant fees for life-saving medication. Welcome to the world we've decided to build for ourselves. Have a good time. In the overall scheme of things, Warhammer is a luxury item, just like an iWatch, and just as completely unnecessary. Warhammer and iWatches are solely for entertainment. There's a whole lot of people who might want to play Warhammer that simply can't afford it. Luckily, there's a whole world of tabletop games out there that they might be able to get into with less financial investment. And there are thousands of videos from excellent content creators discussing exactly how one can get into the wargaming hobby for as few ducats as possible. Just an aside here, ducat means gold coin. So for our purposes, it means money. Give me them ducats. So this perpetual complaint floats around the ether. Why is GW so expensive? Why can't they be cheaper? Why can't I buy an iWatch for $200? It's just so unfair. Here are some things that I personally keep in mind. Games Workshop is selling an experience. A fully designed and immersive experience from website to table. They are the Disney of wargaming, the Apple Store of game stores. And that experience, as well as their high-end product, is expensive to produce. And one thing I've learned from living is that almost every single thing out there is more difficult to do than an outside perspective would initially lead one to believe. Now, does producing all this high-end product require all of GW's profit? No, of course not. Most of their profit goes to their shareholders, and that's a whole nother ball of demented wax that needs to be dealt with. Personally, I feel like the shareholder phenomenon is doing a lot of bad things for the world in general, but hey, we all want to get rich, right? But the shareholders are financing GW's production costs on future projects. Invest, then ROI. That's what everyone wants, even you. You invest your ducats in game products, and you expect a long-term ROI. That's return on investment, which in this example isn't financial, but rather spiritual and mental. You want to be creative and you want to have fun with your friends, or you want to play a non-physical competitive sport, or you're collecting products because you're addicted to buying things. Don't look at me like that, I know what I am. Anyway, that's your return on your investment. Let's get back to your hypothetical, but very possible business. You're running your shop, you're making things, you're doing things, and someone walks up to you with Marcellus Wallace's briefcase, and they say, here you go, take this. Go make bigger and better things. Grow your business. Make more profit. Go on, take it. It's yours. We believe in you. Well, that sounds great, right? But of course, you're wondering, what's the catch? They shrug and smile and say, no catch. We just want a share of your future profits. That's fair, right? We line your pockets now, and you line ours in the future. So, who's going to turn down Marcellus Wallace's glowing briefcase? You? Doubtful. But down the line, you realize them shareholders, they're a little more demanding than you thought they were going to be. And because of all this paperwork you signed and promises you made, you got to get them some money every month of every year. Forever. Because if you don't, they'll pull their funding out of your business, and then you got to fire half your staff, slow down production, lose customers, lose market share, and watch those digits in your digital bank account shrink like shrinky dinks. I know. I'm a wordsmith. Moving on. I'm sure up to this point it sounds like I'm defending Games Workshop as a company. I assure you, dear viewer, I am not. I criticize GW and a bunch of other companies in my head all the time. And in conversation to other people, sure. Criticism is an intrinsic part of society, which is not only totally fine, but frankly, absolutely necessary. Criticism is definitely one way to affect a company. But there's effective criticism, and then there's just complaining. And change in a company's attitude or business practices isn't going to happen unless customers put their money where their mouths are, i.e. keeping their ducats in their pockets. Keeping their ducats in their pockets. Ducats in their pocket. What am I saying? I don't even know. I don't know what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally feel anyone can say whatever they want about a company. Free speech and all that, I'm for it, of course, and your feelings are yours. They're no less or more important than anyone else's, especially mine. But I will say this. Games Workshop has exactly zero incentive to capitulate to most criticism. In fact, they're usually just getting free advertising from it. The only action that will cause Games Workshop to shift its prices is their customers actually not purchasing GW products. And if they ever do lower prices, I'm sure somewhere in the company, existing quality will fall. Somehow, some way. Something will be impacted. They've got so many artists and designers, writers and producers, managers and technicians working for them. It just costs a lot of money to bring you a brand new bitchin' box of Skaven or Space Marines. It just does. And touching on their prices, other than those $35 and $40 heroes and commanders, their boxes of multi-miniature units are really not that much more expensive if you compare them figure for figure, cost-wise, to similar quality single miniatures produced by other companies. But don't worry about GW. We might get what we want sooner rather than later. The 3D printing revolution is just getting started. We've got AI that can create illustrations from a descriptive sentence. And we've got print-on-demand centers in most countries that allow smaller game systems to produce and ship products locally to customers. We've got virtual tabletop simulators for people who want to play tabletop games with their friends who live on opposite sides of the planet. There's a lot of disruption going on, a lot of change, and it ain't going to slow down. We are all spoiled for choice. All right, that's enough for now. Drop an angry comment below or a thumbs down, whatever makes you happy, and I'll see you when I see you. Go roll some dice. You like them eyes? Big eyes? Go roll some dice. You know how many times I've said that? You know how many times I've said the go roll some dice line? I'm not going to tell you. See ya. Okay. I guess that's it. Ostensibly, we are supposedly, ostensibly, we are supposedly